Hey guys, Josh here, and today I thought we'd take a look at the FansProject's Function X3 Smart Robin, or also known as the Headmaster Brainstorm. Now when it comes to Brainstorm, here lately there's a couple of different options out there. You have the FansProject version, which I actually like, and the one that we're going to be taking a look at today, and you'll see why when we get through the video. Then you also have the Tool World version, which is another third-party product, which I don't have that figure, but my buddy Autobotamus did a review on it, and you can go check that out if you like. Then there's also the announcement that Hasbro is going to be coming out with a Voyager-size Brainstorm, but they haven't been clear on whether it's going to look similar to its original G1 like this, or it's going to be a whole new design, or if it's going to be a Headmaster at all. So that's something that if you're kind of waiting on the Hasbro version, I might jump on one of these third-party products. This one's a little bit cheaper than the Toy World version, and in my opinion, this one's the better one, even though other people can argue that. So I basically wanted to focus in on this guy. If the Hasbro version does turn into a Headmaster, I'll probably end up getting that as well. But I'm already vested into the FansProject line. I've got Code, which I will use for comparison, Weird Wolf, and now Brainstorm, while still waiting on the other ones to go on pre-order, and I'm going to get those as well. But the overall design of this guy looks exactly like the original G1, with the guns connecting here at the bottom. It's very streamlined, to where I think the Toy World version is a little bit thicker, and it just doesn't look exactly like the original G1 in my opinion. But they do a really good job of hiding up all the robot transformation. This part right here is his chest. Well, this part can snap back and be part of his back. You have his arms folded up there, which that might be able to show a little bit, but the way that they did the fist, you'll see when we get into the transformation, I think is very genius. Even when you get to the back part right here, there's the actual waist or crotch piece where his legs are folded up in there, and you get extended all the way out here, and these are his feet, which they use the bottom as kind of like little boosters for his jet, which is really cool. Now, it doesn't come with these Autobot logos that you see that I have put those on. Those are repro labels, but under these on the side of the wings, it's almost an exact outline of what would look like a red Autobot logo, which is really cool, and I just ended up covering them up with these. I wanted to show it to you guys whenever it was just stock original, but I was just having so much fun with this thing whenever I got it out of package that I couldn't wait. I had to put them on there. So. But very nice, and you can see that there's quite a bit of paint here. You have the white, the red, you have some red down here on these weapons. It matches also here with the side, and you have the green outline, same here. So very nice. And the thing that I love about this is, unlike some of our Masterpiece figures, there's no paint splatter or, bleeding anything with the red into the white. Everything looks like it was just done perfectly. You can see some more red and white up there. But everything connects very solid. There's a little bit of a gap right there. That's probably because I didn't push those in very good together. So that's probably somewhere on my fault. But very cool looking. Taking a look at the bottom, still looks Cybertronian jet. You got a little bit of landing gear. Nothing rolls. It's just a solid piece of plastic. So it doesn't really bother me that much. But let's go ahead and fold these up, and we'll just set it down there. So. Very cool looking Cybertronian jet. I love this thing. It reminds me of the X-Wing from Star Wars. If you can kind of see it there. But let's go ahead and open the cockpit, and you can take out Brainstorm. I'm not going to go base it off of the American release version, where I think this guy's name was Arcadian or something. I don't know. But basically, you have Brainstorm here, the little guy, and this was basically his transector. So let's go ahead and move this to the side for a moment. And I wanted to just focus in on this little guy. So not too bad looking. You see that he's got some nice paint detail there in his knees and at his ankles. You have some little fingers there for his fist, or you got like his little thumb, and that's pretty much it. But some nice detail going throughout here. Same thing with his head, and it looks like he's kind of got like these little weapons, like these little blades here. But he can rotate, here at the arms. He can, go in that seating motion. The legs are independently articulated, and they can bend at the knee. It's part of transformation. But there you go. Taking a look at him next to Weird Wolf, or I guess you would say Monzo here in America. But you can see him with an original Headmaster and kind of get the idea as far as size there. A couple of others. Here he is with Weird Wolf, or Quadruple U. and as you can see that they're a little bit more on the same size. They're a little bit thinner, but whenever you take a look at him and Code or Chrome Dome, you can see that Code or Chrome Dome there was a little bit thicker. So it looks like they're kind of scaling down on the size of the heads, not necessarily the size, but making them look not as thick. And part of it has to do with the way that his head probably looked as well, but I really like this. It looks very, very detailed and unique. But let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. What you're going to do is lift back on this section right here and just leave that back there. Come around with the legs and fold those up. These will just kind of push back all the way, the arms, and then you can set this down. And there's a shot of his head. Now, that's the one complaint I have with this guy. I wish he would have had a faceplate, where I believe on the Toy World version that he does have a faceplate, but I'm sure some third-party company will come out with something to attach to him. But not too bad looking. Right, moving him to the side, let's bring back the trans sector there. Get that focused in for us. And one comparison, here he is with G1 Weirdwolf, so you can kind of get a general idea. Unfortunately, I don't have the original G1 Brainstorm, but that's about the best I can do for you. So let's go ahead and get into the transformation. First thing that we're going to do is lift up here, and whenever you push these down in there, there's actually these pegs, and they'll sit down in there. Now, they don't snap in there very well, but that's basically how you would hide the hands. But go ahead and pull those out, just like so. Next thing you're going to do, these are pegged into a peg right there. That's also pegged in there, and they're pegged in on the side. So usually the best thing to do is kind of pull that out and pull that out while lifting up at the same time. If you just pull it out, then you might end up breaking that part. So kind of lift out while you're pulling out there. Then you can get these off of that peg. Do the same with that one. There you go. So you have the legs just like so. Go ahead and move these arms out of the way. And we'll get to this section here. So pull the legs out just like this. We'll go ahead and slide those up. What you're going to do is rotate here. Do the same there. Bring these down and then rotate that way. And I wanted to do the, well, one, I think I've done all the transformations from going to vehicle to robot, so that's kind of why I wanted to do it. And plus, this guy comes in his robot form. You have the directions to go that way, but you don't have them the way to do the way that I'm doing. So hopefully this is going to help you guys if you're having trouble putting them back. And pull those feet down just like so. These come around, and you just keep on swinging around until they clip, and there's actually a little peg that'll get them back in there. And then you can put those down in there. Do the same thing with this one. Gonna bring that around. Once it clears, you peg that together. Push that away, all the way in there. And you have the legs. Spin this section around. I'm going to go ahead and take these guns out. Come on. Give them to me. There we go. This one. They're kind of tight in there. And we'll set those aside for a moment. This section right here, go ahead and push these down to reveal his hands. You can rotate there. Rotate there. Go ahead and bring those down. That down as well. Bend this back, just like so. This section here, you're going to lift up, spin that around, and it'll set up there. And the one thing that you want to be careful with, and same thing for whenever you're going to transformation back and forth, there's a little peg that kind of holds this up. You're going to pull apart here, and whenever you kind of collapse these, they kind of accordion up in there. Just make sure that this little hole here that's back there, you get that little thing in there. There you go. And then you can push those together, collapse his chest, and then I'll lock all that into place. And then you just pose them. Set that back down. And there you have his robot mode. Now you can do the, let's go ahead and put his head in there. And I got quite a few comparisons for you as well. These, you could have left those in there. I'll just show you on one. You can put it in there, and it kind of gives him that little look where he has wings in the back. They're not very long, but I'm not going to display them like that anyway. They're going to go in his hands. And this guy looks really cool. It seems that every time FansProject gives us one of these new headmasters, they just keep on doing a different, unique looking transformation. None of them look exactly the same, and the transformations are enjoyable for all of them. So hopefully that's something that continues. Let's go over articulation real quick. You can move his head, around like that. It doesn't really go back any or forward any either. It doesn't have that little notch in there. It's basically kind of pulling his head out there, so it really doesn't go back and forth. The arms go in and out, and I forgot to push these back. There we go. But the do rotate here, go in and out. It does have bicep swivel there. Can bend quite a bit. Double jointed elbows there. No bend in the hands, unfortunately. The waist does rotate. Can go back and forth with the legs. That's about as much as he can go out, but you can still get a bunch of poses out of him. Rotate here at the thigh. Bend at the knee quite a bit. And the toe is on a ball joint as well, so it can move around and kind of go up. So, and this section will move back some if you need it to. But let's go ahead and get some size comparisons, and then we'll put them in a pose so you can kind of get the general idea of his articulation. So there he is. And here is code. Let me get his little guy in his head. Alright. So there's a little buddy. You have Code and Smart Robin, or Chrome Dome and Brainstorm. They look nice together. They size up perfectly. They're exactly the same height, so really do like that. Here he is with Skull Cruncher, I believe. Original G1 Headmaster. So as you can see, these guys are a little bit taller. He's probably about the same size as Weird Wolf whenever he's in his robot mode, just because the original G1 Weird Wolf was shorter. And one more comparison. Here he is with Masterpiece Blue Streak. So again, he's not really short, but he's not extremely tall either. It seems like these guys are just right. Just put them in pose. I think I bend them like this, and this will rotate this way as well. Kind of bend his leg that way, like he's kind of falling to the side while he's shooting you. Yeah, so that's probably how I'm going to display him. It doesn't look too bad. And with all the paint and everything, none of this stuff was bleeding. As you can see, there's some silver there and red. Everything stayed in the lines, and you can see the inside as well. You have some nice detail where it looks like it's robotic. All throughout his chest, it all looks robotic as well. Very cool little figure. And we'll bring him up here. Give you one last look. Yeah, so if you're kind of wanting to determine whether you want to get this or the Tool World version, my money is on this. I'm invested into this line, and I did it for a reason. I think these figures look great, and I'm not disappointed whatsoever. So really cool figure for, I think, $68 is what these guys go for. And I'm still curious to see what the Hasbro version looks like, but even if it's a Headmaster, I'm not going to be the least disappointed with this guy. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and have a good day.